So yesterday I did a video talking about this trade deal that Donald Trump came out and said he had with Japan. Well, more information has come out about that trade deal. And in some images shared on Twitter by Dan Scavino, the Deputy Chief of Staff for the White House, seems to contradict what Donald Trump had said. Now, there were note cards in front of Donald Trump when he was announcing the deal. And first, it had $400 billion investment written down, then crossed out with 500. But Donald Trump himself announced $550 billion investment by Japan, and we still don't entirely know the details of what that investment is going to look like. And then there was the tariff rate. On the note card, it said 10%. Donald Trump says 15%, and apparently in the notes there, it says something about 10% on certain markets, not across the board. So what's the real story here? It's probably somewhere in the middle. But the White House is saying Donald Trump was the negotiator in chief. And as I talked about yesterday in my video talking about this deal, before Donald Trump negotiated this trade deal with Japan, we had a less than 2% tariff on goods from Japan. And now it's going to be 10, maybe 15%, depending on which version's accurate here. Donald Trump himself said 15. The note card said 10. But that means it's going to be 8 to 13% more expensive. And as we know, because I've talked about it a lot, and as economists point out, tariffs are paid by the importer and they are tacked on to the cost of goods, and ultimately it drives prices up. The consumer pays the tariff. But Donald Trump will keep going back and insisting that the foreign country pays these tariffs. And that's not the case. But he wants you to believe that that's the case. But anyway, if he's such a master negotiator, how come he just negotiated our prices higher? We didn't need higher tariffs. And for a lot of the things that are being imported from Japan, people are going to say, well, just make it here. Well, American versions of, in a lot of cases, electronics are inferior, or they don't have the factories built here to make those brands here. And it would take them years to build up the manufacturing infrastructure in order to produce it here. So in the meantime, we are paying anywhere, depending on which number now ends up being accurate, because there's confusion, and there's always confusion when Donald Trump is involved, 8 to 13% more in the long run until those factories get built, if they ever get built. It doesn't actually work the way Donald Trump says. So he ends up not only making it worse for us, but we don't even know what the actual terms are, because it doesn't seem like he knows what the terms are.